Hello everyone. Our lesson today is on history of nursing. History has been in existence even in our primitive time. Diseases such as pneumonia, arteriosclerosis, appendectomy, appendicitis, tuberculosis, and kidney stones have been found in an ancient Egypt. In the Middle Ages, civilization of the care of the sick was probably undertaken by the close relations. In ancient Egypt, you have people like a temple priest who took over the role, described a special diet for the ill, and how to make linen and wooden spleen for broken bones, and how to aid in childbirth, which is all the responsibility that nursing carries. We also have a great man who is no other person than the father of medicine, Hippocrates, wrote extensively about the illness and what should be done about it, and that people should be able to go to school as to be able to care for the sick. Then in the Middle Ages, we have also traditional churches called charity that helped in influencing the growth and development of medicine. The temple priests were also asked to establish a hospital, which they now call the House of God. In the House of God, we have deacon and deaconesses, where now take care of the place, as at that time there was no formal training, and these practices were done by the men because their women duties were only to take care of the babies at home and also to deliver babies. Then during Reformation of nursing, the hospital that was established were now abolished and the men were driven away so that the men could take over the profession. And that is why you see less of the men in the profession. So we also have a great woman here who started nursing, who is no other person than Florence Nightingale, who is the founder of the modern nursing and was born in 1820. At about 34 years, she started the practice of nursing. She was born in a well-to-do family with her English parents. When he started nursing, they were not happy with her because they believed that nursing was meant for the women who could not do well in school. She was in Paris undergoing her training, but because of the opposition of her parents, then abandoned the training to Germany. And after some time, she was called upon by her grandmother to come and take care of her in England. There she went, took care of her grandmother, then completed her training to become a nurse at an institution called Kisarawa Institution. In 1854, there was a Crimean War in Britain. She was also called upon to take care of the wounded soldiers. She went with her other 38 untrained deaconesses in their different apparel. She went and came back successfully and now decided to establish a school which is now called St. Thomas School. She started the school with about 15 students. After the graduation of the student, Nightingale died. The legacy she left behind was nurses should be able to be formally educated and should also function as clean advocates, which is what is applicable today. Many of our nurses are educated, some are professors and some are doctors in that field. So that's the legacy Florence Nightingale has left behind. That will take us to another topic, which is nursing in Nigeria. Nursing in Nigeria. The development of nursing in Nigeria can be traced to the early missionaries who came with their doctors and nurses, nursing sisters, some of whom were allegedly not even state-registered nurses in the late 19th century and 20th century. These missionaries, what did they do? They handpicked the young men and women and then trained them on the job to become nurses and midwives. At that time, there were no textbook or syllabus for this training. The selection of candidates for the training depended on how obedient and how working the individual was, while discharging his or her duty as a house help to the colonial masters. The candidates were taught only such simple procedures like bathing of patients, preparation and the use of poultice, dressing of ulcers, and serving of meals. In addition to the household duties of scrubbing and sweeping of the floor, they were indoctrinated to believe that nurses must always obey the physician's instruction without questioning. Going further, formal nursing education in Nigeria started in 1940 with the approval of 5 mission hospitals for the training of nurses. From then till date, 1950s, when the syllabus was formulated to help regularize nursing training in all schools and universities for the purpose of examination. Nursing education was regarded as a private enterprise. For most areas in Nigeria, nursing was either a vocation or a trade. Though nursing continued to develop in Nigeria in the 1960s, it was in line with Florence Nightingale reform and consistent with a medical approach. Hospital policies could want nurses to strictly conform with the ward routine, even when it was quite obvious that it may be detrimental to the patient in the ward by 6 a.m. for observation of vital signs. The nursing actions were largely intuitive and empirical. They were based on experience and observation rather than upon knowledge of science. Hence, nursing was seen generally as an occupation and a vocation and a calling to serve humanity. Some people see nursing or nurses as an unquestionable helper to the physician, a view which is held fast till date by some people in the society. Some even wonder why a nurse should aspire to become an academic. It is believed that any school dropout should be pushed into nursing. Some people might say, what is there in nursing? Is it not to stay with the patient and carry out the doctor's instruction? Others? Nurses are seen as jack of all trades and master of none. But when they come in, the case is always different. When some people will leave nursing to other departments for consideration. You can verify that. Furthermore, historical development of nursing in the USA. Like the Crimean War in Europe, the Civil War in the USA stimulated the growth of nursing. The women in the American Red Cross Society played an important nursing role. Clara Barton, the founder of American Red Cross Society, turned to soldiers on their battlefield, cleaning their wounds, meeting their basic needs, confronting them or comforting them, meeting their basic needs and comforting them at the point of death. The American Red Cross Society was ratified by the United States Congress in 1882 after 10 years of lobbying by Clara Barton. Dorothy Sindix, Mary Annabelle, and the rest of them also helped to influence nursing during the Civil War. As a superintendent of the female nurse of the Union Army, Dorothy Dix organized hospitals, appointed nurses, oversaw and regulated supply to the troops. Also have a mother who also was able to organize ambulance service, supervise nurses, walk around abandoned battlefields at night, looking for wounded soldiers. Also have Toban was active in the underground. We also have railway movement and assisted in leading over 300 slaves to freedom. After the Civil War, nursing schools in the USA and Canada started to pattern their curricula after the Nightingale School. Many nurses contributed to the development of nursing in the USA and Canada, but a few will be highlighted. We have somebody like Isabel Hipton Rope. Isabel Hipton Rope graduated from St. Catherine's School of Nursing, Ontario, Canada, a school which was patterned on the Florence Nightingale curriculum. Going further, she became the first superintendent of Johns Hopkins Training School, Baltimore, Maryland. She contributed immensely to the professionalism of nursing through publication of nursing textbooks and formation of Professional Nursing Association that became the American Nurse Association in 1911. She was one of the original founders of American Journal of Nursing. The textbooks she authored were: number 1, Nursing and its Principles and Practice for Hospitals and Private Use. That was in 1994. Also have Nursing Ethics, which was in 1900, and Educational Standard for Nurses in 1907. Advances were made in hospital care, public health, and nursing education in the early 20th century. Have Mary Adelaide Notting, a member of the first graduating class of St. John Hopkins Training School, was instrumental to affiliation of nursing education with the university. She became the first professor of nursing at Columbia University Teachers College in 1907. The journey towards the placement of nursing education into university was quickened in 1923, when the Rockefeller Foundation funded a survey of nursing education, popularly known as Goldmark Report. The report recommended that nursing education needed increased financial support and suggested that the money should be given to the university schools of nursing. 5 universities benefited from the financial support. University schools of nursing were able to expand, increasing opportunities for more nurses to have university education. As nursing education developed, nursing practice expanded. More clinical specialty programs were started, and so also were specialty nursing organizations that were concerned with quality care. So in 1965, the National Commission on Nursing and Nursing Education explored issues that included the supply and demand of nurses, clarification of nursing rules and function, education of nurses and career opportunities available to nurses. We also have a director who was able to call for clarification of nursing rules and responsibility in relation to other health professionals, advocated greater financial support for nurses, and more career opportunities to attract nurses and also retain them in the profession. As nursing education and practice evolve to meet the challenging needs of the society, Nurses' Code of Ethics also evolved in 1962. American Nurse Association proposed its Code of Ethics. The purpose of this ethics was to create sensitiveness to ethical situations and to stimulate or formulate general principles which result in the formation of conscious and critical judgment resulting in action in specific situations. As technology and the needs of society change, the Code of Ethics was revised to provide Code of Ethics for nurses with interpretative statements. Nurses in the USA and Canada had made a giant strip in the development of nursing. They resolved to move nurses' education into university and college and away from hospital affiliation. Schools facilitated the development of more nurse scholars who are committed to developing nursing practice and theory. So the development, science, and the theory in nursing involves generating knowledge from the nursing field and other disciplines. One method for creating nursing scientific knowledge base is through development and the use of nursing theory through research processes. A significant milestone influencing the development of concepts and theory was the establishment of nursing research. Nursing Research Journal in 1952. The journal has encouraged scientific productivity and has helped to produce the framework for a questioning attitude that has set the stage for further inquiries into theoretical nursing. The US has produced theorists who are influencing all aspects of nursing worldwide. Such persons are popular: Anderson, Roy, Urim, Johnson. Nurses in the North America, particularly in the USA, have developed nursing to a truly professional status. You have spent few times or minutes studying the historical development of nursing in the USA, the event that has occurred, and the person responsible for the event. We have also seen how social economy, political science, and technological development of the society as a whole affected the development of nursing in the USA. And that will take us to another heading which has to do with religious influence. What is the influence that the religion has given to nursing? When the missionary arrived in Nigeria from the UK in the 19th century, their objective was to convert, evangelize, to educate, and also provide healthcare. Hence, you find the church, the school, the hospital, the clinic cluster in the mission ground. With the trained missionary nurses, some of them were products of Florence Nightingale schools of nursing or curriculum. They recruited young men and women mostly with primary school education for on-the-job training in nursing procedures and skills. The emphasis was on skill training starting from simple to complex. It was truly or purely task-oriented training. Initially, there was no organized curriculum, hence no central certification. The missionary nursing sisters provided physical, psychological, and spiritual care for their followers. The healthcare needs of the communities were constantly assessed, and appropriate healthcare facilities were provided. So the first set of nursing personnel in the country were those trained on the job by UK trained missionaries, nursing sisters. These locally trained nursing personnel also imbibed the tenets of the Christian religion and also served as local contracts for evangelism. The two Makanta sisters ran the mother and child health centers in Abeokuta and its environs, while Mary Slessor was known in Calabar for her work with abandoned twins. And that will take us to the next one, which has to do with British colonial service. What are the services that they were able to give? The British colonial service, in conjunction with the Royal Nigeria Company, provided healthcare services for their serving citizens and their families in Nigeria. Medical teams were also brought from the UK to run the medical service. The medical team included professional nurses trained in the UK. Two parallel healthcare services were provided, one for those in the Colonial Service Administration and the other for the local Nigerians. Hence, they were Europeans and Africans hospital. The nursing sisters in the medical team also trained women and men on the job and supervised their work. They were taught a lot of tasks and skill, but with a little knowledge. These young men and women were referred to as probationary nurses, and they work under supervision, mostly in African hospitals. There were no formal curriculum. Each nursing sister taught from her experience. There was no certification, and there was no controlling on examination body. They did not have control on examination body. Then after the Second World War, which ended in 1945, many Nigerian girls with higher school education traveled to the UK to be trained as professional nurses. Upon their return, most of them were employed in the civil service. The working condition or environment was hostile, and many found that they could not put to practice the knowledge and skill they had acquired in the UK. Some left nursing for other disciplines, but others persevered. As more nurses returned from the UK, they collectively resolved to improve the standard of nursing education and practice in the country. These standards pioneering nurses included Adetong Bale, who later became the first Nigerian registrar of Nursing Council; Francis Oguntola, the retired director of nursing, Lagos University Teaching Hospital, and the host of others helped so much informing or improving nursing. The first on the list of improving standard was the inauguration of the first Nursing Council for Nigeria and the appointment of an interim registrar in 1947. The changes affected in nursing were facilitated by a political climate in the country. It was a period of negotiation for the country's independence from Britain. During this period, there was a plan for the improvement of healthcare. The Richard Constitution, which divided the country into 3 sections. We have the East, the West, and the North. And the capital, Lagos, created a school of nursing for each region located at Enugu, Ibadan, and Kaduna, plus the one in Lagos. This school started to function in 1949 with formal syllabus to direct the educational program. Qualified nursing tutors were employed from the UK to direct the program. Preceptors were employed from among Nigerian nurses trained in the UK to supervise the practical training of students in government hospitals. The health policy also stipulated that Nigerian boys and girls with good high school education be sponsored to study general nursing, midwifery, and other nursing subspecialties of national needs in Great Britain. This was a great departure from the traditional practice of training individuals with 6 to 8 years of primary education. The new direction encouraged boys and girls with a good high-grade school education to choose nursing as a career. The health policy also directed that schools of nursing be established at the University College Hospital, Ibadan, in 1952. It was patterned after the Nightingale School of Nursing at St. Thomas Hospital, London. Girls with good education also qualify for admission into the school. From all indication, the government was bent on changing the poor image of nurses and consequently improving the quality of nursing. This was linking good general and professional education with qualitative nursing practice. With a nursing council in place and the instrument of authority approved, the council proceeded at a set minimum standard for nursing curricula in schools of nursing, clinical teaching facilities, and a minimum educational qualification for the entry into schools of nursing. The authority of Nursing Council was left more in nursing than in midwifery. This was probably due to the fact that midwifery service were less organized than the nursing service. The fear of the highly trained professional nurses went into midwifery practice. Furthermore, midwifery practice was more controlled by non-governmental organizations. I'll go further to look into nursing education within the university system. How did it go? The development in nursing education in Canada and USA started to influence nursing education development in Nigeria, especially in the old Western region. In line with its health manpower development, to meet its expanding healthcare services, the Western region government embarked on a program of sending qualified nurses overseas to train as nurses, tutors. In 1960, the Canadian government offered to educate 5 nurses in the university degree level. Still in 1960, there were technical aid from the British and the Canadian government to prepare nurses tutor at a diploma and a degree level respectively. So nursing administration and nursing clinical specialization were not left out at the development. They were German and British technical assistants for those areas. The immediate post-independence period saw nursing in Nigeria enriched with few deals from USA, UK, and the Western Germany. Impressed by the professional performance of the nurses trained abroad, many men and women went to this country for their nursing education. So, nursing education in Nigeria University. The return of the 5 great or graduate nurses from McGill University in 1962 was the turning point for the university education in Nigeria. The graduates were deployed to different schools of nursing, where through interpersonal relationship influenced students' attitude to nursing. By 1966, 12 graduate nurses, teachers, sponsored by the Canadian government, had taken up appointments with the Western Region government, and later with other government and healthcare institutions. This group of nurses teachers were also to impress on the government, formal and non-formal group, the benefit of the university education in nursing, and especially at the administrative and educational levels. There was also a world movement through international nursing organizations such as ICN and WHO to move nursing education from hospital schools to university. The first stage was sorting for fund, followed by staff development, then program development, identification and negotiation with institution and government, students selection and admission was carried out. These processes were embarked upon consequently. In 1956, in 1965, the University of Ibadan, after creating a Department of Nursing, admitted the first set of 10 students into the post-basic Bachelor of Science nursing program, with option in nursing education, nursing administration, and clinical elective in medical surgical nursing, maternal and child health, midwifery, psychiatric nursing, and community health nursing. The Rockefeller Foundation provided the pre-building. The WHO also provided a fellowship for students and teaching aids and other teaching materials. Boston University admitted students for postgraduate studies, who also provide supporting staff for the first 5 years of the program. The university provided the administrative support pending the takeoff after 5 years. By the time the first set of students graduated, many more nurses wanted university education. The number of applicants increased every year, even when the financial support was no longer available. In 1971, the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, started the Faculty of Health Science with the philosophy of educating the health professional students together, since they were expected to work together in real situations. Based on this philosophy, a generic degree, BNSC, was started in 1973. More nurses had university nursing education. More universities now run the generic nursing program. Those Nigerian nurses and other persons who spearheaded nursing education within the university system include late Professor O. Adebo, Olufemi Kujora, Adeton, and the rest. There are almost about 10 of them. When you get your textbook, you will see what I'm talking about. Everything is there in your textbook. So, and that would also take us to globalization of nursing. You will see how nursing has gone global. Florence Nightingale, through her definition of nursing, had shown the globalness or the globe. Florence Nightingale, through her definition of nursing, has shown that nursing has gone global. She showed how the nursing role is also to utilize the laws to nature, to facilitate health, and also to recuperate from illness. Long before Maslow's hierarchy of needs, of human needs, Nightingale has drawn nurses' attention to the manipulation of elements in man's environment to meet man's health needs. Nurses in different countries have evolved concepts and theories from Nightingale's concepts. Nurses, through research, are identifying global problems and issues that affect man and sharing or offering solutions. The communication media for the sharing could be by the printed materials in form of journals, books, electronic equipment, softwares, face-to-face communication such as occur at meetings and conferences, and even as we are doing it here. You can also now access information on nursing issues from the internet. Nursing is no longer a calling in secrecy. The ability to produce knowledge by the scientific process through the fastest possible means is a work of a professional growth and development of the 21st century. So globalization of nursing is also fostered through communication among various national nursing associations and specialties nursing group. At international conference, issues or phenomena of common concern are discussed, such as International Council of Nurses, ICN. The ICN is an organization focused on advancing nursing worldwide. In 1998, identified 3 key programs area as crucial to the betterment of nursing and health. These are known as ICN pillars, and they are professional practice, regulation, and socio-economic welfare. The International Classification for Nursing Practice and Leadership for Change are 2 significant. The ICN projects, which comes under the professional practice pillar, negotiation in leadership, is a project which comes under the socio-economic and welfare pillars. Also go ahead to talk about the regional nursing organization. What are the things they do? They train in the past 20 years is for nurses within geographical location to corporately develop nursing. A typical example is the West African College of Nursing, which is also an agency of the West African Health Organization, WAHO. It is concerned with nursing and the health needs for people in the country of Yahoo. It's also composed of 5 faculties offering fellowship program in specific nursing specialties. One, we have community health nursing, education and administration, maternal and child health, medical surgical nursing, mental health and psychiatric nursing. These are all responsibilities that is being carried out within the regional nursing organization. Its responsibility also includes inauguration of nursing and midwifery council with the appropriate instrument of authority, the establishment of a better equipped secondary, tertiary, and specialty and teaching hospitals, and the provision of articulated health policy. The accumulative effort of all the above resulted in communication between Nigerian nurses outside, particularly in the UK, Canada, and the USA. And that will bring us to knowing what is nursing. You have been into nursing, and when somebody asks you, what is nursing? Why do you want to want to do nursing? Nursing, according to Virginia Anderson, 1966, defined nursing as an act of assisting clients to meet their needs until such a time they are able to meet them on their own, thereby helping clients move from a dependency to an independent state as when they are able. Many nursing actions today are based on Anderson concepts. She further identified what a nurse needs in attending to a client, namely air, food, water, clothes, rest, sleep, elimination, sex, exercise, among other patients. Dorothy also was able to define what nursing is. This was established in 1983, or 85, He defined nursing as the ability to assist others in the design, provision, and management of system self-care to improve or to maintain human function at some level of effectiveness. Dorothy didn't stop there, being Travabil, who also establishes his definition in 1966, also defined nursing as interpersonal process whereby the nurse practitioner assists an individual or family to prevent or cope with the experience of illness and suffering. If necessary, assist the individual or family to find meaning in these experiences by talking to them, reassuring them that it will be well. The implication of this definition is that nurse assists the patient to perform the activities which he or she is unable to undertake due to lack of strength, skills, and ability. The nurse assists patients to move from a state of dependency to that of independence. And that will take us to, why do we love nursing? Why is nursing important to you? Many people want to come in because it is a well-paid job. Many people want to come because they want to travel outside. So today, you need to tell us why you love nursing, or why nursing is important to you. So, going further, nursing is important. It is important because it offers care and concern for a person as an individual. Nurses plan care of a person as a whole, or consider that people are more than the sum of their body parts. Nurses also plan an important role in health as well as illness. So nurses don't always plan only when you are sick. They can always plan your health when you are healthy, so that you continue to be healthy. So a nurse is important because he recognizes and also encourages the role clients play in their recovery. That is, the nurse assists clients until they are able to care for themselves. So that is why it is important. So furthermore, They also help those who could not recover from the illness and also help to maintain a high level of functioning as possible and to die with dignity. That is to say, those who are not able to recover, they nurse them to die with dignity. Nurses will not want to force death to the patient, will not want to do anything to say, oh, let her die quickly. No, it is not done. Maybe it is done in the Western world. But to this part of Africa, they nurse you to die with dignity. Furthermore, nurses, because nurses care, educate patients, and carry out health researches, and are administrative leaders, that they are very effective in their key positions. They improve care by the use of research and also continuing education. They will continue to educate you. They will continue to tell you what to do to help yourself until you are able to cope with your sickness. And that will take us to the quality of a good nurse. You want to be a nurse, and being a nurse, you need quality. Whatever you have been, you cannot bring it to the profession. So number one quality, we have honesty. You know what honesty is. It is necessary to be completely honest so that nurse reliability and integrity needs never to be questioned. Nobody will question you. When you are straight, you are straight. The next one here, we have loyalty. You have to be loyal to your senior, you have to respect your senior, and know when to stand up and greet. It is very, very important. This loyalty to the hospital training, schools, and staff destroy the entire effects of the hospital service and the nurse himself. So loyalty to the hospital training, school, and patient builds a nursing service and of the highest quality. So loyalty is very important. Whoever is your senior, you have to be loyal to that person. The next one here, we have under quality, we have discipline and obedience. As the name implies, you know what it is. I might not go further to explain that. You have them all in your book, so read them. So the next one, we have courtesy. The next one, you have dignity. We have personal appearance. We have tactful sympathy, sense of humor, and patience. We have optimistic look. Yes, all those ones are in your book. Read them up. We have observations and adaptability. We have gentleness and quietness. We have economy and also sense of responsibility. Whatever you don't understand here, you can inbox me and then we discuss it as one-on-one person. We have adaptability, which we have called before. So that is it. Also have others technique that has to do with nursing. Number one, we have basic nursing needs. What are the basic nursing needs? Basic nursing need care is planned to meet the needs of each patient. Or individual. That is physical, mental, comfort, proper sleep, nourishment, and every other nursing skills during convalescence period or convalescence period. Also have other important techniques that you might want to carry out, which is importance of nurse in a therapeutic team. In a therapeutic team, know what therapeutic team is. The nurse is one of the most important members of the therapeutic team. That therapeutic team might be in the hospital, is a team that you find nurses in the hospital, and you also find others too, other workers who are medical workers in the team. But we believe that nurses are the most important, therapists in that field that always be with you 24 hours. So the next one, we have protection of the patient. You know what to do so that not to cause harm to your patient. Protection of the patient from injury and harm is one of the basic principles of nursing care, especially when you are in the psychiatric hospital. You have to be very, very vigilant and observant and know what your patients are doing at a particular time. You also have foresight. You need to have foresight. You need to have foresight that pertains to dangers, complications. What are these things that will bring complications to my patient? Please read that up. You also have prevention of cross-infection. be that patient or be that nurse that will want to carry out cannibalization. When your patient is being discharged, you have to cannibalize the bed, clean up the bed, and make it ready for another patient to come in. You also have comfort of the patient. Patient needs comfort. Patient needs to be at home always. At least the hospital should be a second home where the nurse is always there to carry out her services. To also have economic time, effort, and material. They are all in here for you to know when to assist your patients. Thank you very much for listening. The next one now we are going to take, we have professional organization for nurses and establishment. Professional nursing organizations are established to deal with issues of concern to those practicing the nursing profession, such as organizations which include American Nurse Association, Canadian Nurse Association, or you break it too. Okay. You have professional organization, and one of them we have, which we have rarely mentioned before, International Council for Nurses. What do they do here? The body serves as the highest governing council, or the highest governing body of all international organized national association of nurses. It sets standard and also seek a higher status for nurses. It further provides international power base for nurses. What are their functions? They have numerous functions. One, we have promotion of unity among nurses all over the world, provision of sponsorship for nurses, and then seeking further training on specialized courses abroad. It also have, it serves as a basis for exchange of ideas and experience as a whole. It says in the curriculum development of nursing education in member states. They spell out code of ethics or code of conduct for nurses. The International Council for Nurses, its 4th yearly congress where nurses from all over the world meet to discuss issues and matters affecting nursing and nursing trained worldwide. It also sponsors workshops and participates actively in international health meetings as a matter of health team. The association was formed in 1999 with the help of Belfort Fenwick as a president of organization. Belfort became a member. Nigeria became a member of this world body in 1961. It has the headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland, and this helped in the continuous and close relationship with many of the world management or international organizations such as WHO, ILO, UNSSO, UNICEF. The ISN, the ICN has an official journal, an International Nursing Review. In Nigeria, they are a member of Nursing Association of both national and international standard, and one of such is the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. The second one here we have Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. You know what they do, and even if you don't know, I am giving you an assignment to go and look into it. We also have here function of council. What are the functions of council? What do they do? What do they do for you to be a proper nurse? So when you read them, you see. You also have characters of council. What are the characteristics of council? So the next association here we have National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives. So after being a nurse, after you have qualified in a nurse, then you come and register with the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives. Also have here WHO, who, you know what WHO does to the entire world, what they do from the community and outside world. So when you read them here, you know what their functions are, you know what they do, you know what where their secretariat is cited and what it comprises of. So it is all laid down here for you. We also go further to talk about establishment of professional organization. Here you have them: National Students Nurses Organization or Association,